That's what I'd have told him.
I hear you.
Russ is about show now. Why do you feel you need to tell the media that?
I don't know.
Because you want them to think that you're something you're not. You see, the problem that Russ has is that Russ never tried to ingratiate himself with his teammates. He came in and says, I'm Russell Wilson and you're not. I should be afforded things that you don't deserve.
That is true.
And I don't fault him for asking for it. I fault the Broncos for giving it to him. Mm. But what they should do is take all that stuff back. Russell should not have a look. I played with John Elway. I've been to I was around the Broncos a lot when Peyton was there. And Elway, I can assure you, damn sure didn't have an office, and neither did Peyton. Because what you do, Skip, when you get those things, you're like, look here, me, I'm different than y'all. Mm. John would sit down in his locker and eat with us. I'm sure Peyton did the same thing. So that way, Skip, guys don't feel that you think you're better than them because you get things that they don't. Guys will become to resent you. I went to Baltimore. Whatever they did, that's what I did. I fit in. Laugh, joke, talk, carried on. I wasn't better because I had Super Bowls. I was accomplished. Fit in. And then come time, you're like, okay, man, the guy one of us. I don't believe the guys think Russ ever was one of them.
No.
And it's showing. I'm telling you, there's growing resentment in that building about that guy. I'm going to leave it at that.
I could not believe this story that he actually bragged about how he can defeat jet lag by exercising. I guess it's exercise. It's more like stretches and high knees and whatnot. And he's looking right down his nose at all his teammates saying, I know how to beat jet lag and you guys don't get it.
Right.
I know. I stay active for 4 hours. Then I watch cut-ups. Then I sleep for 1 hour. And he said, I feel great. He said, he used the phrases. He said, I'm super locked in. You're super locked in? That's just cringeworthy to me. This is an NFL quarterback. And then let's ride, right? Bronco country, let's ride. Yeah, okay. And they lose another game, and he drops another hat line. He introduced some big hat line. I'm like, you have lost it, man. You have gone completely over the edge into celebrity.
It ain't about being no football player, and that's what, and I think, Skip, I was a little skeptical, but I think they saw this happening in Seattle. His teammates in Seattle
I think you're
saw
right.
the change in Russell and what he's becoming, and they didn't like it. And all of a sudden, it wasn't Russ. It wasn't the team. It was Russ. All of a sudden, Russ dwarfed into he was no longer a football player. He wanted to be a celebrity. And that's what he wants to be. I don't know how important football is to him now. And I'm gathering that a lot of people are starting to wonder how important football is to Russell Wilson now. Or does he care about being more of a celebrity than an NFL quarterback? The problem was he wanted that contract extension, and the Seahawks said, hell no. That's why he wanted to get traded. It wasn't no other we going and said, no. They said, no, we're not giving it to you. Maybe they saw the writing on the wall. You're not the same player that you once was. But Skip, the thing that he went there and did is what the players in that Seattle locker room started to see. Russell's about show. Russell's about Russell. It don't take guys very long because they spend so much time with you. You can't fool your teammates. Yeah. You can fool the media because they only get you for a sound bite, 10, 15 seconds. But those guys that are around you 8, 9 hours a day, half a year, 3/4 of a year, you can't fool them. They're starting to see your charade, Russ.
Those cliches and those platitudes, it's phony up on phony on phony. So Shannon Sharpe, as you know, I've worked with a whole lot of people in this business, the television business. Some of those people I watch get on a pretty big stage and suddenly lose complete sight of who they were. I call it going through the looking glass because you're looking in the mirror and you see somebody else in the mirror, but you're still you.
Right, exactly.
I know you because I knew you before you became you, quote unquote, right? That's what just happened to Russ. He went through the looking glass. Now he looks in the mirror and he's seeing somebody wrong. It's not, he's married to a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. I'm a national figure now. Like I have to act differently. I have my own office at the stadium, right? I travel.
Bring your team in.
Yeah, right.
What?
I got to bring my team in. I need extra hotel rooms, on and on. If you were backing it up with your performance, you might be able to get away with it, but he is not backing it up. And that leads to, they got a game, obviously, in London. It's London, right?
Yes,
London. And
the coach job is at stake.
The coach is on the hottest seat in pro football because I'm pretty sure the coach was hired from the Green Bay Packers because Somebody in Denver thought that somebody who plays quarterback for Green Bay might just come to Denver to play quarterback. And to expedite that, why not get his favorite coach, Nathaniel Hackett, in Green Bay, his quarterback coach, to come to Denver to be the head coach? And then Aaron will say, oh, I want to go to Denver, right? Didn't happen.
I got an opportunity to meet the new owners.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. They want to win.
Okay. So does that mean the clock is ticking?
They're not happy.
Yeah. I'm sure they're not. Okay. I'm sure they're not happy with the coach or the quarterback.
They're not happy.
Thank you. Period. End of story.
Tom Brady's not happy either, guys. How is he going to look against the Ravens tonight? We'll dive into the
second-year receivers supposed to say to Aaron Rodgers. Oh, they didn't say anything. Bro, really? First of all, they're afraid to say anything to you anyway. And then you think that, oh, because they didn't say anything, you're right. Oh, well, if they got a problem with what I said, they could have come to me. The same damn way, if you had a problem with them, you could have took your ass to them and not go on the Pat McAfee show and air them out. Well, I didn't call anybody about it. Who the hell you think we talking to, Aaron? You're talking about your receivers. He just doesn't get it. Now I see why Devontae left. Turned down more money to come back with this joker here. You're a terrible leader. You're not a good leader. I've tried everything. You know why? Nothing's worked. Because you are a terrible leader. You're a terrible person to be around.
Yep.
Go back and check the tapes, what I said about him at CBS. And me and Boomer got into it. Boomer said, well, he's a great player. I said, just because you're a great player doesn't make you a great teammate. I felt that when I went there. That's neither here nor there. Skip, look, I don't get it. Aaron Rodgers has the 26th QBR in football, 40.5. You know who he's behind? Ryan Tannehill. You know who he's just in front of? Justin Fields. So, Aaron, I don't think I'm breaking any news. I'm not interrupting any normally scheduled program. You're playing bad, bro.
Yep.
And the thing is that when you're playing good, you can yell and scream and call people out. But when you're not playing well, people look at you sideways. I give it, it's kind of like what Mark Murphy said.
Yep.
Don't you be the problem.
Yep.
Because he knew all along you were the problem. That's why he said it.
Yep.
And you got upset. Oh, I talked to Mark. He said it. You know he said it, and you know you've been the problem. He and I would have had a problem. Some serious problem. Because I don't care how many touchdowns. I don't care how many MVPs. You're not finna talk. You're not finna put me on blast. That ain't gonna happen.
So, to me, I'm going to take it one level deeper. I think Aaron Rodgers, as a leader of a pro football team, hit absolute bottom yesterday. First, he calls out, without naming anybody, his whole team, saying that at least 20% of the plays in every game, we have a mental error on. But he didn't say whether what percent of those plays that he made a poor decision on or a poor throw on.
Correct.
Because that's the whole bigger part of the equation,
correct,
right? So he calls out his team, and then he says, see, I'm right. Yesterday he says, I'm right. He says, if one of those guys has a problem with it, I'm right here. He's like daring them. Well, come talk to me. I dare you to come talk to me. He's shaming them. He makes $50 million a year. He's the back-to-back MVP of this league. Is Romeo Dobbs going to approach him in his locker and say, Aaron, I'm calling your bluff on this.
No.
I don't think I've had any mental errors on any plays, right? Well, he's not going to say that.
Exactly.
And Aaron's using that to say, look at me, I'm right. And then he says, I don't understand why people have a problem with things that are truthful. Well, what's the truth about your performance? Yeah. Because those numbers scream that he's made a bunch of errors.
What about them championship games?
Yeah. What about them?
Your play. Did you make any errors? What about the double coverage last year in the divisional round?
Yeah.
You threw that ball to Devontae, he was double covered, and Alan Lazard said, "Hey, look at me! Look at me! Get your." So what was that? The problem is he's a guy. He never takes accountability, and because he has those 4 MVPs, Skip, people are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
I do not believe, no matter how accomplished you are you can be devoid of criticism.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers thinks that he's above criticism.
He does.
He rubs, I don't care what anybody says, he rubs his teammates the wrong way.
Yep.
They don't rally behind him
I agree.
like Brady teammates, or like we rally behind John Elway, or guys rally behind Peyton Manning.
I agree.
They don't.
They don't. I've called him from day one on this show the all-time finger-pointing blame deflector, and also the all-time master media manipulator. He's trying to manipulate the media into saying, boy, Aaron, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Poor Aaron. You know, he's stuck with all these idiots
And
around.
then he had to have